Hello, and welcome to the Sweet November Stamps Summertime Fun YouTube hop. I'm Amy. I'm co-owner and illustrator of Sweet November Stamps, and I am very excited to share the new release with all of you, as well as all of the amazing videos that our design team have put together to inspire and entertain you through this YouTube hop. It starts today, Sunday, June 9th, and it runs through Wednesday, June 12th, giving you all that time to enjoy every single one of the videos included in the hop. And then if you want to participate for a chance to win all 11 of the new stamp sets that are included in our Summertime Fun release, then you'll want to, like the videos, comment on the videos, and give a follow to our design team who have participated, and that'll get you entered for a chance to win. So let's see, I am going to be using the Fairwee Happy Birthday stamp set. It's a big, 6x8 stamp set full of all these magical little birthday Fairwees and all the little accoutrements that will help build some fun celebratory birthday scenes. You get the little table, a 3-tiered cake, a stack of presents, a balloon, a banner, and some ribbons that you can put on either side of the banner if you like, or on your little Fairwees. There are 3 sentiments included in this set. Have a magical birthday, birthday magic and fairy wishes, and happy birthday. Then, of course, the Fairwees themselves. There are 3 individual Fairwees holding different styled candles. There is this little gal tossing confetti, and this one's blowing the little party popper there, and then this one's holding on to the balloons. So we are going to be coloring the 3 candle holding Fairwees today. I have got them stamped onto this mini slimline card front. The die I used is the Dainty Scallop from Trinity Stamps, and they are on Copic Xpressit cardstock. And I've used Memento Tuxedo black ink to stamp them. Did a little bit of masking to overlap these two. And I'm going to share in this video how I do color on like candle glow affecting the image. So I'm going to walk you through one of them, and then I'll speed color through the rest of the card, since it's the same principle just done 3 times, and I don't want to keep you here forever. So let me see. I don't think there's anything else. I will mention that if you're over on Instagram as well, we do have our Instagram hop going on currently, and that gives you a second chance to win the entire release of all 11 stamp sets in the Summertime Fun release. You'll just want to check out the Sweet November Stamps page, the little Instagram account, to get the whole list of participants there. That one goes through Tuesday, because it started yesterday with the release, but there's still plenty of time to get in on the action over there and get inspired on Instagram as well. There is all sorts of good stuff. We always have free shipping at $75, and for domestic orders, and there's a shopping incentive as always. So lots of cool stuff to check out. All right, I think we're ready to get coloring. All right, so I'm going to just pull out my skin tones, and I'm just gonna, kind of my go-to Caucasian skin tone combo here. And we'll get started. All right, so candles, anytime you got like a direct light source, it makes it really easy because you know exactly where that light's coming from and it's very close to them. So we're going to start with this middle gal, and we've got the light from her candle here, and there's the extra added light. It's going to make it very strong up here in this area of the card because we got two candles. And then our third one's way over here. So, and we're not gonna, it's, you know, I'm not going for like super realism and stuff, but that just, you know, gives me a general sense of, you know, where I'm going to want my colors to be nice and light and bright versus where I'm going to want my heavier shadows. So I just like to start with my E00 to kind of get a base coat down. And it helps me kind of map out light versus dark areas on the skin. And these little Wees are nice and small, making them, you know, pretty quick to color up. They're not a lot of detail to them, so you're not going to have to be spending a whole lot of time making them look really cute with your coloring. Now I'm going to jump to my E04, which is my darkest, and I'm going to start laying it down opposite that candle flame. And while we do have a candle over here, it's far enough away that I'm not really letting it have a big impact. Like I'm not making it super bright on this side of her body as well. If it was like over here, the flame was, I would be a little less generous with my darker colors. But it's far enough away over there that I'm not really worrying about taking it into account on this little gal in the middle here. The reason I still put a little bit of shadow there is because it's going to be the front part of her little her hair that's going to catch most of the light, and it will do a little drop shadow on the underside of it. So I'm still taking my dark even though it's over closer to the light. Come around her chin here and underside of her neck. Drop shadow beneath the hem of her skirt. Okay. I'm going to use the E11 to come in and soften that E04 and pull it out a little farther. I like to add a little bit of definition on the bridge of the nose. Well, where a nose would be, they don't have noses. But just to add a little bit of extra shading across the middle of the face there. Back to that 00. You'll notice I'm always, you know, starting my color opposite my light source and pulling towards it so that I can leave enough space for the additional candle glow that we're going to be adding to this skin. E000. Now normally when I don't have this really specific light source, I would be using this E000 to completely fill in the rest of the skin tone, but in this circumstance I'm not going to. I'm going to leave still a little bit of white so that when I go to put my yellow glow on there, it'll really pop on that side of the face compared to the left-hand side. And I'm going to add in a little bit of blush on her cheeks. I'm going to R00. R20. Back to that 00 just to soften it a bit. As well as that 000 over on this side. Okay. I think I'm going to fill in her mouth as well. You could leave it white so it's like her teeth showing, but I'm going to have it become like her little tongue. So I'm just filling that with the R20, and then I'm going to fill the top part of the inside of that mouth with the E04, make it nice and dark in there. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to grab my Y000. And I'm going to use just the side of that brush to sweep in a light layer of yellow along that side of the face there. And I'm going to do a little bit on the top of that arm and the top of the hand there, and a little bit on the neck there. And that's going to start giving us our glow for our candle. So we've got her hair next, and let's go ahead and give her a fun purple hair. Make this lots of color that will pop, because we're going to give it a nice dark background behind to play up the contrast between the light and the shadows. So we'll add a lot of color with our Fairwees themselves. That was VO1. I'm going to come in with some VO4. Just going to work, build up my colors. Now I'm leaving a lot of this side of her head. I'm, not going to go super dark over here, because we're going to be putting in our light from our candle. But you don't want to omit the darker colors completely. You just want to put them in, a little bit more sparingly. Okay. And let's see from there. Let's do a little bit of BVO8. And a little is going to go a long way with this really dark purple. And then I'm going to work my way back down doing some tip to tip. So I'm going to grab that V04 again, and I'm going to use it to pick up the BV08. And that will help blend these two colors together in a much smoother manner than I was getting just using the markers, themselves, because there's such a big jump between the 4 and the 8. This kind of bridges that gap. Okay, and we'll do the same. This time I'm going to be using the V01 to pick up the V04. Because again, between the 1 and the 4 is another kind of large jump. So you want to make that nice and smooth. But you'll notice, just like on the skin, I'm leaving white, a lot of white area over here. Compared to the rest of the hair. That's because I'm going to grab that Y000 once again and add that over here for our candlelight glow. All right, so let's see, let's move on. We'll give her a little blue-green dress to wear. I think I'll start with BG01. And she's got these really deep pleats in her kind of tutu-like skirt here. And so I'm going to be leaving the tops of each of those folds in the skirt not white, so that we can add our yellow on top of that. Let's see, BG01, let's put in some BG53. So pulling the color up from the, the inside crease of each of these pleats. And the inside turn is going to be nice and dark as well, of each one of those little sections of the skirt down there. A little bit of BG57. And really start deepening up the underside of the skirt. And then on the really where I want it nice and super dark for extra contrast down on the underside of the dress, I'm going to bring in some of that BG78. And maybe just a hint of it at the bottom of each little pleat here. There we go. And then I'll just work my way back through my combo. So back to that 57. And 53. And that 01 that we started with. So I've got just a very narrow little sliver of white left on the tops of each of these pleats in her skirt. I can then bring my Y000, give it a quick sweep along the top of each one. Just to get our candle glow going on her clothing as well. Let's see, we need a color for her shoes. Maybe we'll go pink. Because why not? We're going to fill this card with color. Let's do RV55. And an RV19. Tiny little slivers of white on the top of the shoes there. And we will hit it with a little bit of that Y000 as well. All right. So now we've got her candle. And I'm going to come in with some G20. And I'm going to just give this a little bit of shading down here, because I'm going to do, since it's the striped candle, I'm going to have a white and green going on here. But I want to give the white stripes a little bit of shading as well. And I'm going to do that with this G20 and a little bit of, I think, BG93. It's got a lot of gray tone to it. Just a very narrow, fine line of this darker color. And I'm going to concentrate it, down at the lower half of that candle, since our light's going to be pretty strong up here. So it's going to have a lot of throw of our candle light at the top of the candle versus the bottom of the candle. I'll soften it with some BG90. And then another hit of that G20. But I'm going to leave white through the center there. And now for my green stripes on my candle. Come in with YG03. And I think I'll start up top here. And I can go right over the shading I did for the white stripes. It's actually going to help shade our green ones as well. We'll do a little bit up here. Not much. Okay. From the 03, I'm going to come in with 25. YG25. And I need something for a stronger contrast. I think I'll get it with some YG67. But you can see I use very little of it as I come to the top of the candle, and I'm more generous with this darkest color down at the bottom. Back to that 03. Come in with that Y000. Just let it kind of hit the top of that candle as well. All right, now we can actually get that flame going as well. So I'm going to pop in with some Y02. And even I'm going to start adding the Y02 up here, make it nice and strong on the top of that candle. And I'll even put some of the O2 in the hair since it's right next to our flame. And just to remind myself, I'm also going to jump over here and add it to the front of that candle there. All right, and then I want something a little darker, or bolder, I should say. So I'm gonna come over to a Y17. Just hit the tip of that little flame there. Okay. I'm gonna do her wings in a purple to match back to her hair. But I'm gonna make it a lot lighter. So V000. V01. Add some glow to the top of that wing. And a little bit of the O2 up there as well. All right, so as you can see, we've created a soft, warm glow of yellow on our little colorful fairy here. I'm going to now repeat this process 2 more times and then get in a nice dark background that's really going to make that candlelight pop. And I think I'll speed through these 2 and then maybe we'll slow it down as we get into the background because we are going to be creating our halo of light there as well. So for now, just sit back and enjoy the rest of the coloring, and I'll see you on the other side of these 2 fairies. now we're ready to get our background in, which is going to add all of the contrast and drama that's really going to make this candlelight pop. And I'm just going to be using a variety of the warm gray markers to fill in. So it's kind of like they are in a dark room, and it's their candlelight that is illuminating the space. So to that end, I'm going to start with W10, really dark. And I'm going to ground each of the little Fairwees. With a very dark shadow directly beneath their feet. Now I didn't take it, you'll notice under her, she's got her leg lifted. So I didn't attach the shadow to that foot. And that's going to help make it look like it's lifted off the ground. Okay. And I'm also going to start feathering in our dark gray on this outside corner. Okay. W9. And working our way down, W8. I'll pull out their little grounding shadows with the 8 a little bit more. And I'm actually going to run it all along the bottom of our card. W7. W6. I'm going to start bringing that up on this side of the card. W5. So I can just continue to work my way back down through these warm grays. And you can see I'm using that side of that nib to get a nice wide path of color down. It's going to cover it a lot more quickly and have less brush strokes for me to have to try to blend out that way. W4. So you'll notice I'm kind of creating a circle. You know, I'm keeping my distance with these grays around that lit candle end, because I know I'm going to be adding yellow in around it. So I'm just slowly kind of eating away at that little halo of light as my colors get lighter, as my grays get lighter. is W4, so I want W3. I'm going to start filling in this space between the two groups of candlelight. It'll still be lighter up there, but we will see some gray. It's not going to be completely yellow all across the top there. W2. Now we're just getting to kind of softening those edges. Okay. Now I'm going to bring in our our Y 000. And merge it right into those light W markers. Letting them meld together so we get a nice seamless transition from the light to our shadow. I'm also going to bring a little bit of our gray into the back side of our fairies to kind of play up the shadow. Not too dramatically, but just a little bit here and there, and in their wings. That side's pretty bright. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So now we've got all that drama with our dark shadows, and it looks like they're illuminating this space with their candles. Just throw on a few little finishing touches. Got my white Sharpie here. A white gel pen will do the same trick. I'm going to add some polka dots onto this candle here. And then, let's see. Of course, we got to add some sparkle to their wings. Using a Stella clear glitter pen. And then a little extra sparkle with that white pen. So a little flare there. And one up top on her wing. And let's see. Let's do one over here. There we go. Definitely got some magic happening there. All right, I'll just finish this up. Catch a glimpse of the finished card at the end. Let me get a sentiment on it and on a card base. And this will be good to go. Alrighty, there we have the finished card. I just added a sentiment from the set using some Hero Arts white embossing powder and sprinkled on a few enamel dots from Doodlebug Designs to match the colors in our little Fairwees there, and put it on a piece of I think it's like lemon chiffon cardstock from Simon Says Stamp to match the candle glow. And we've got a really cute and cheery and magical birthday card. So thank you so much for joining me for my part in this YouTube hop. Enjoy the rest of what the design team has to offer you today. Hope you're inspired and excited for the new release. And until next time, stay crafty, my friends. Bye.